He leaned over me to point at something on the screen. His arm brushed against mine. His breath was warm on my neck. And just like that, my body betrayed me. I'm Hailey. Welcome to Lust and Lies. This is my confession of regret. It started with small things, a lingering glance during a meeting, his hand brushing against mine when we passed papers, late nights at the office that should have been just about deadlines, but weren't. Mark was my boss, 10 years older, married, with a daughter in kindergarten. He wasn't the kind of man who flirted openly. He was polished, professional, always kind, always composed. But sometimes he looked at me like he saw something no one else did. And that look, that small, dangerous look, made me feel alive. I had only worked at the firm for 6 months. I was ambitious, hungry to prove myself, and I thought I was in control. I wasn't. One Friday evening, the office emptied early, everyone eager for the weekend. But Mark and I stayed. We had a pitch due Monday. He ordered Thai food. We ate at the conference table. We laughed about our horrible client, mocked the revisions, and then the power flickered. Storm outside. I stood to check the window, and lightning lit the sky. When I turned back, Mark was watching me, really watching me. "You're incredible. You know that?" he said. I laughed, nervous. "Because I make a killer deck. Because you make me forget I'm married." Silence. Just the sound of rain hitting the glass. He stepped closer. 1 step, 2. "I shouldn't say that," he whispered. "You already did," I replied, my voice barely a breath. His fingers brushed my wrist. My skin burned under the touch. "I should go," I said. "You should." But neither of us moved. His hand slid up my arm, paused at my shoulder, and then, slowly, he kissed me. The kiss wasn't hurried. It wasn't forced. It was slow, measured, controlled, like he had thought about it 100 times before it ever happened. I should have stopped him. I should have walked away. But I didn't. Instead, I leaned in deeper, let his hand slide down my back, let his mouth claim mine like it belonged there. His wedding ring brushed my waist, and still, I didn't stop. My heart thundered in my chest, my thoughts drowned in heat, and all I could feel was him, his lips, his breath, his presence. We moved together without speaking, just bodies guided by tension and longing. He pushed the conference room door shut, locked it. My back hit the table. His hands tugged at my blouse, buttons undone, fabric sliding. I gasped when his mouth found my neck. A soft moan escaped before I could stop it. He lifted me onto the table, sending pens and notepads scattering. There we were, 2 professionals, 2 adults, 2 people doing something so utterly wrong. His hand slid under my skirt. I parted my legs for him like I had always been waiting. He paused. "I need to know you want this," he said, his voice strained. "I do," I whispered. And that was it. Clothes fell. Breath mingled. Flesh met flesh. It wasn't love. It wasn't even lust. It was need, sharp, hot, dangerous. And it consumed us. The storm raged outside, but inside, we were the disaster. When it was over, we didn't speak. He stood, buttoned his shirt, turned away while I dressed. I looked at him. This man I admired, trusted, desired. And I saw regret all over his face. "I shouldn't have done that," he muttered. I nodded, voice caught in my throat. But I didn't apologize. Because I knew the truth. It wasn't the first time I had wanted it. And it wouldn't be the last. The following Monday, everything was normal. Too normal. He greeted me like usual. Emails, deadlines, small talk. Like nothing had happened, but everything had changed. Every time I looked at him, my mind rewound to that stormy night. To the taste of his skin. To the weight of his body against mine. He caught me staring once, and looked away too fast. That week dragged on. Tension filled every room we were in. It buzzed under every word, hung in the air like perfume. Thursday night he called, just one word, stay. No explanation, no justification, just stay. Everyone else left, again, and I stayed. He closed the blinds, turned off the lights. This time there were no words, no questions, no pauses. He pushed me against his office wall. His lips crashed into mine. The passion was faster this time, hungrier, like we had both spent the last 4 days starving. He didn't ask for permission. I didn't need to give it. I was already his. He bent me over his desk, his hand gripping my hips. The risk was higher, the stakes steeper. but we were past caring. His voice growled my name into my neck. My nails scraped the wood beneath us, and when it ended, we collapsed in silence, breathless, ruined. He sat on the couch, elbows on his knees, staring at the floor. "I can't stop," he whispered. "I don't want you to," I admitted. We both knew what it meant. It wasn't a one-time mistake. It was becoming something more, and neither of us was ready to face it. The following weeks blurred. Every late meeting was a lie. Every final revision was code. We met after hours, in his office, in mine, in hotel rooms booked under fake names. And still, he went home to his wife, to bedtime stories and school pickups. And I went home with his scent still on my skin. I knew it couldn't last. Secrets rot. But when you're living inside one, it's hard to breathe clean air again. It started to change without warning. One day his texts slowed down, then stopped coming altogether. The glances turned short. The meetings felt colder. The air between us wasn't buzzing anymore. It was heavy, silent. I asked if something was wrong. He smiled, said he was just tired, work, home, stress. But I knew better. He was pulling away, and I didn't know how to stop him. One night, I stayed late without him asking, hoping, waiting. He came in, saw me at my desk. We made eye contact. For a second, I saw the man who used to undress me with a glance. Now he just looked guilty. "I shouldn't have let this happen," he said softly. I stood, heart racing. "This? You mean me?" "No, I mean us. This whole thing. It was never fair to you." I felt the sting behind my eyes. "Then why did you start it?" He sighed. "I was weak. I was selfish. So what am I now? A mistake?" He looked pained. "No, you're the one thing I'll always wonder about." That hurt more than if he'd said I meant nothing. I turned away, packed my bag. My hands trembled. "Don't walk away," he said, then stopped pushing me. But he didn't. He just watched me go. The next few days were brutal. He was distant, professional, like I was just another name in his inbox. But I wasn't. I was the girl he bent over his desk, the woman he whispered things to he'd never tell his wife, the secret he used to crave, and now wanted to bury. I started working late again, alone, not because I had to, but because I missed the silence we used to share, the tension, the danger. Now, the silence felt different, lonely, empty. One night, I got drunk, texted him something I shouldn't have. "Do you ever think about me?" He replied 4 hours later. "Every damn day." We met one last time, not in his office, not in a hotel, but in a quiet cafe 2 blocks from the building where it all began. He wore a black coat, no ring. I didn't ask if he had taken it off, or if he had taken it off for me. We sat across from each other, coffee between us, but we didn't touch it. "I don't know how to undo this," I said. "You can't," he replied. "Neither can I." There was no more heat, no flirting, just 2 people exhausted by what they'd created. "I love being with you," I said, my voice barely above a whisper, even when I hated myself for it. He looked away. I wanted to believe we could keep it separate, that it wouldn't bleed into everything else. But it did. He nodded. "My wife knows something's off," he confessed. "She hasn't said it, but she knows." I swallowed hard. "And if she finds out, she'll leave and she'll take my daughter." He wasn't crying, but his voice cracked. And that's when I knew. We were never going to survive this. It was never love. It was escape from his life, from mine. A beautiful, reckless detour, but not a destination. "I think we need to stop," I said. He didn't argue. He just nodded. "I'll always wonder what would have happened if I met you first," he whispered. I smiled. "That's the saddest part, isn't it?" He stood, paid the bill, and walked out without looking back. I sat there for a long time, thinking about the girl I was when I joined the firm, ambitious, bright-eyed, believing the world could be controlled. Now I know better. Some temptations don't look like danger. They look like opportunity, like chemistry, like attention you didn't know you craved, until you're drowning in it. I'm Hailey, and this was my office, my late nights, my secret, and my greatest mistake. This was my true infidelity story.